Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of these end times. The news this morning is all about BREXIT, that is Britain exiting the European Union. And that's all that ABC, CBS, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, Fox, CNN, and all the rest are talking about. But of course, all you will get from them is Satan's viewpoint. And he wants to hide the truth. He wants to obfuscate the news. He does not want to tell you what is really going on. In order to know what's really going on, you have to understand Bible prophecy. And you, my subscribers, do understand. And I got a very interesting note this morning from Victor Yu, and I want to read this for you because he doesn't need the alphabet networks to know what's going on in the world today. He knows Brexit ahead of time. Greetings, Mr. Tapley. Is the Brexit significant? Absolutely, Victor, you are correct. I remember you said the U.S., Britain, and Russia will be destroyed in World War III. What I couldn't understand was Britain getting destroyed. I thought since they're in the European Union, surely their allies will rise up and protect them. With Britain leaving the EU, does that set the stage for all this? I believe you are right. And even the British Prime Minister David Cameron says that Brexit will mean World War III. And I'm not sure he knows Bible prophecy, but he is correct. I assume the rest of Europe will be reluctant to join a war to protect a non-member state. And the vote to leave was confirmed on 6/23. 23 signifies the beast. Very good, Victor. God bless and have a good day, sir. Okay, Victor, let's take a look at this from the perspective of Bible prophecy. As you say, first of all, 23 is a number of the Antichrist. 2 before 3 or over 3 signifies man over God, and it yields the fraction 0.666. So we know that that is significant. Most people haven't a clue as to the Whore of Babylon or the Scarlet Beast. Who do they represent? Now, the false Protestant prophets will tell you that anything bad in the Bible represents the Roman Catholic Church. That is their whole hermeneutical system. Of course, that is nonsense, and they lead an awful lot of people astray, which is exactly Satan's goal. Now, the Whore of Babylon represents Britain and America. That is the reason for Brexit. Britain had to get out of the EU because the EU represents the 10 horns on the Scarlet Beast. And the Babylon and the beast are continually at odds with each other, very much like in Daniel. The struggle between the ram and the goat, they signify the same thing. The 2 horns on the ram, they signify Britain and America. One is smaller and older than the other, that's Britain. One is taller and newer, that's the United States. The single horn on the goat, that represents Russia. And the Scarlet Beast and the goat will defeat the Whore of Babylon and the ram. And I've explained this many, many times on here for more than 8 years. And if you want to understand Bible prophecy, then you will also know how to defeat the one world communist tyranny, which is the same as the feet of iron and tin on the statue of Nebuchadnezzar. And don't forget, the 7 hills that the Whore of Babylon sits on, those hills belong to the Scarlet Beast. And the reason is because the one world communist tyranny, following the nuclear exchange between the ram and the goat, will move from Moscow to Rome. The false prophets also like to tell you that the one world tyranny is centered in New York or Washington, D.C. That is false. It is centered in Moscow. It will eventually go to Rome. And Mary prophesied this 150 years ago to the 2 shepherd children, Melanie Calvat and Maximum Giraud. She told them, Rome will lose the faith and become the seat of the Antichrist. And Mary also has the solution to the problem. And as I have also been telling you this for 8 years here on YouTube, and you will never get it from the alphabet networks, and that is that Mary's rosary is the weapon Jesus will use to defeat the Antichrist. I know most of you will not understand that until the nuclear fires break out. Then in desperation, you will take up the weapons that will win the war. It is better to be familiar with your weapons before you go into battle. Any general will tell you that, and Mary is our 12-star general. And if you would like more information about my ministry, visit my ThirdEagleMedia.com website.